when there is an exceeding load, no more than 3000 volt ampere, so you will use the corresponding demand factors. Okay? So like for example in this one, no. Uh, so that is for your lighting and small appliance and including laundry circuit, no. So those are included in your branch circuits, no, different branch circuits, and then you'll get the total VA of those circuits, and then you will apply the demand factor, no, if your initial computed total load for your non-continuous loads will exceed 3000 VA. Okay? So, chart. Okay? So, first 3,000, 100% demand factor, it means you will utilize, or it means that those amount of load for your circuit gets utilized the most or continuously. Okay, so if not continuously, so they are the ones that you will always utilize at 100%. Okay, while the excess for that, for example, in this one, so the excess 3,480 VA, so you will only use 35% demand factor for the next, no, up to 120,000 VA or 120 kVA. Okay, so you will only use 35% demand factor. Okay, so because it means that amount of load, no, will not always be utilized, no, on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so that is for a residential. Okay, and then after that, you will then compute and add your other loads. So when we say other loads, usually these are your uh, individual branch circuits, meaning your motors. Okay, like for the air conditioning, or if you have a cooking range or other motor circuits. Okay, and then the important part here on your computation is the service entrance conductors, or your supply, or your main supply, or your mains. So your for the service entrance conductors, so the total full load current, no, you can use sections 4.30. So let's see if that's okay. So I think you can use the reference for that, no, in this table, and the one given to you, no, for the horsepower of your motors, and also your circuit breaker or uh, overcurrent protection device sizing, no, for your motors. Okay. So you also have your factors, your multipliers for different types of motors. So like I mentioned before, so if you're using refrigerant motors, either for your aircon or your refrigerator, if you have a large ref, no, let's say you're planning to have your on your design, you're planning to have your ref like what's the normal size? 6 cubic feet, right? No, but if you're let's say planning let's say 12 cubic feet, and like it's a giant freezer, no, if you want to have a frozen whole cow inside it. No, not just the no, not just the parts, no, but an entire whole uh freshly, what do you call that? Butchered cow, okay, or no, pork, okay. So that's up to you, no, if whatever size of appliances you want to include, okay. So just make sure to be familiar with their maximum load, for each of your appliances, or what type of load they are. If they are non-continuous loads, so they belong to the appliances. But if they are continuous loads, so they belong to the category of the motors. Okay. And then for the service equipment, so when we say service equipment, so these are your protection devices. Okay. So this will depend on your computed full load current, for your circuit. So again, how do we compute the full load current? So the important parts here, first, di ba you computed on your uh, appliance loads and your lighting and convenience loads, convenience outlet loads. So your first 3,000 VA, so use 100% of that. And this part, this is the 35% of the excess. Okay, so we had an excess of 3,480 right here, no? This part. Okay, so that is included here. And then plus, so this part, so the 300% times this one for non-time delay fuse. So this we're computing for the fuse. So you use 300% multiplier, and then you will get your what you call highest rated motor. So in this case, your only highest rated motor, or your only motor in this circuit, is your aircon, the 1.5 HP room air conditioning unit. So that's your only motor anyway, no? So you will use that. But in the event that you have multiple aircon, for example, you have two 1.5 HP, you have 1 HP, or you have 2 HP aircon. No, let's say your living room has air conditioning on its own. Wow, okay, rich kid. Okay, so you will select whichever is the highest rated among those, and you will use it here. Okay. So question, what about the other aircon po? Will we still use them in the computation? The answer is yes. So you will include them in this part. Okay. So what do we do with the highest rated motor? We compute it multiplied to 300%. Okay. And then the rest of your motors, you compute it, you just include their rated VA. Okay, but for your highest rated motor, you will use the multiplier of 300% for the fuse. Okay, for the circuit breaker, by the way, so let's complete the equation here. So that's VA, or your power. So that's your total power, with your highest rated motor times 300% divided by your supply voltage. So in this case, they use 230 volts. So in your case, you can use 220 or 230 or even 240 if you like. Okay? So just make sure to be familiar and know what supply voltage did you use. Because I might ask you when you present your output to me. And I will know. No, I will have an idea of what should be the supply voltage that you use for your computation. So if you just blindly copied and uh, draw, no, or wrote in your plate the resulting amperes, no, without actually looking at the supply voltage, and then in your other parts of your design plate or your electrical plan, you used or you wrote a different supply voltage, so that will be a source of confusion. Okay, and of course that will be a major design error, because you computed for one voltage rating and then you wrote another voltage rating. Okay, so is that clear? So it's very important, no, not just for the design purpose but also for the safety of the one that will occupy this dwelling unit. Okay, so for the inverse time circuit breaker or circuit breaker computation, so for the table you can use this part, yan, standard ampere rating. So again, so you'll use the closest one, no? to your computed ampere. No, so like for example, this one. So you'll use again your initial 100% demand factor VA or load plus the excess to that times 35%. So it's this part plus the multiplier for circuit breaker is 250% of your highest rated motor. So again, so the fuse is has a different computation with your circuit breaker. Now on your design to, so circuit breaker will be required, of course, no. For the fuse, so it's optional. So if you want to include yung computation or the inclusion of the fuse rating, yeah, for example, after computation kasi, no, so it's mentioned what you will use. So 160 ampere 250 volt safety switch. Okay, so this is single pole, single throw. So it means one time use, of course. Your fuse is just one time use. And 50 ampere trip, single pole, 200 for 40 volt molded case circuit breaker. So if you want, no, or if it's optional to you, you can just use or you can just include the circuit breaker part. Okay. So just be familiar with the computation with the fuse, no. But in your design, you can just include the circuit breaker on the especially on the schedule of loads. Okay. So again, so for the circuit breaker, that's 250% of your highest rated motor, and then uh, the total of this divided by your supply voltage. So again, in this case, 230 volts. Okay. So it's computed here 43 amperes. So when you look at the table here, so the standard ampere ratings for inverse time circuit breakers. So as you can see here, there's a 45. No, but that's too close. I mean, that's too close for comfort for your circuit breaker. Okay. So again, no, we use the next higher for the purpose of expansion and flexibility because uh, although circuit breakers, no, the modern circuit breakers are modular. So when we say modular, it means on your panel box, this space is much larger. Let's say on your panel box, diba? If you have seen a panel box before, and then this is the inside of a panel box. So there are partitions, and then in each partition there is your circuit breaker. Okay. I'll exage the switch. Yan. So that's the switch of the circuit breaker. Ayan. So let's say you have six circuits here. Yeah. So and then usually there's spare space here, no? So there's a slot for the spare. So this is what I'm talking about. So the spare, you should always allot at least one to two spares on your riser diagram, on your schedule of loads, no, on your panel board for expansion purposes, no, and flexibility. So why flexibility? But because in the event, in the event that this slot gets, for example, this particular slot number one gets damaged or compromised. Let's say the wiring gets corroded or for some reason exposed, no, or unsafe. So you can transfer the circuit breaker or your circuit into this spare slot. Okay. Also for expansion purposes, let's say yun nga, you're going to have a renovation for your building. So you can use the spare, no, for additional circuit breakers or additional circuits. Whether it's another aircon or another set of convenience outlets, or let's say you expanded to two floors, so you'll have another lighting circuit, no, something like that. Okay. So let's go back here. So on the diagrams, So for the diagrams, so of course this will be also one of your requirements of the riser diagram. So as you can see here, so let's zoom a bit. Ayan. Alright, so the necessary diagrams here. So this is what you call the riser. Okay. So for your riser diagram in your design plate, no, so you can just include this part, no. So you can omit the box here. So this box. So you can just show it like this. I think I showed a sample also to you last time, no. Yeah. So you can just include in your rising diagram, uh, of course, the circuit and then the branches, no. And then of course this is going to your main, and then these are your branches. So don't forget to label them appropriately. Okay? And then on your grounding, yan. No, so of course you'll also select your appropriate grounding. So based on your computed amperes or based on the table also. No, so the table 3, this one. Uh, ah, this one. Okay. So, di ba I showed you how to determine your conductor sizing here and also your grounding. Grounding conductors. Okay? Where is that? Here. Okay? So, what I want to see here, no, the main important parts that I want to see, of course, is your branches, no, and the necessary details for your branches, like on this one, the breaker specifications that you will use, no, particularly the ampere rating of the breaker. Yan. Okay. And also your service entrance conductors here. So you will, for example, this one. So it's mentioned here the 2 times 14 millimeter squared TW wire. Okay. And of course, from here also, no, from these computations, so you can use this as the reference for your schedule of loads. Particularly the, I think this one, and then, okay. So this is what I'm talking about, no? Your panel board details, and then, of course, you should have used legends and symbols on a separate, no, separate page. Uh, this one, no, the service entrance diagram. So this is optional. So again, you can just include this part on your riser diagram. Okay, so this part, no, you can already include it here, if you want, no. So you there's no need to draw separately your lighting panel, your power panel. Okay, so you can just put directly the service entrance details, no, the conductor, the protection devices, no, included in your panel board or on your riser diagram. So riser diagram is better to use. Okay. So what else do we have? Let me find some more specific ones. Uh, have I sent this to you pala? So, I think it's better if I can send this to you. This was lecture 4. Did I send you a copy of of this part already after our lecture? I think I haven't yet, no. Okay, so let me try to send this to you on our group chat, so you can have the references for this, no, for your electrical plan parts. Okay. So there's also mentions of the wire sizing, yan. So you can use this part also. Some circuit breaker ratings, yan, that you can also use. What else? And some you can use this as guide, no, for your final design plate, no, because again, like I mentioned in my general comments last time, so it's important, no, to follow, of course, drawing standards and the standards by the Philippine Electrical Code. Okay? So you can use this as the references for your design plate. Okay? Yan. So I'll send this to you in a while. No? So let me just wrap up the discussion for this example. Okay. So this one covers, no, the small dwelling unit, this one, single family dwelling unit up to 150 square meters, but not more than 6 circuits. So the next example here is also single family dwelling up to 150 square meters. Okay, but more than 6 circuits. Okay, so let's just see the difference, no, with this one and the previous one. No, aside from, of course, this will have more than 6 circuits. No, so for your general lighting and convenience, so we will still use the area method, 24 volt amperes per square meters. Okay, and then same lot area or floor area. So you have 145 square meters times 24. So you'll have 3480 VA. Okay? And then your computed load is 15 amperes for 230 volts supply. So that's 3480 VA divided by 230 volts. No? So you will have 15 amperes. Okay? So again, one branch of 20 ampere, no, could cover both the general lighting and convenience. But again, for flexibility and convenience purposes, and for future needs also, so you can separate the two, no, with two 20 ampere branch, no, for both for lighting and convenience outlets separately. Okay, so for this one you'll already have uh 2 circuits, okay, or two branch circuits, and then your small appliance loads. Okay, so usually it's 120 ampere at 1500 VA. Yan. So that covers your small appliance load. So this can be a combination of a small TV, let's say a small oven, no? So something like that. Okay. And this is already according to standard. So you can provide one 20 ampere small appliance circuit. So it means another 20 ampere branch circuit. Okay. And then for your laundry circuit, so the usual rating for the laundry circuit, another 1500 VA. So this one, no. So your subtotal now for your convenience, lighting, and your small circuits or your small appliance loads. So we have 6480 VA. So again, this is already in excess of 3,000. So we will apply the demand factor of 100% for the first 3,000 and then 35% multiplied by the excess to the 3,000. Okay? So this one. And after that, so let's see the other loads which makes it more than 6 circuits. So again, these loads are all individual circuits. So they will have their own circuit breakers. So for example, you have one 8 kilowatts electric range. Okay, so when we say electric range, so that is a cooking range that is electric, with the induction cooker and electric oven, something like that. Okay. So your 8 kilowatt electric range, so this is already taken from the table. So you will use 80% demand factor for that. So if you're using 8 kilowatts electric range, no. So you have 80% demand factor for this one, and then you will use 40 ampere electric range circuit. No, so you will use 40 amperes for your electric range. And then your aircon units, so your motors, no. So remember, this is a heater, but this is not a motor, no. So you will not use this as your highest rated motor, although this is a very large load, right? 6,400 VA. Okay. So for your aircon unit, so you have two 1 HP aircon units. So both rated at 8 amperes, 230 volts. So times 2, so you'll have 3,680 VA. So that is computed at 100% demand factor. Okay, so that's also mentioned in the sections for the motors. So you'll provide two 20 ampere aircon circuits. So take note of this, even though they are the same 1 HP and they are computed simultaneously, di ba? Or they are included in one computation for this one, you will still use or you will still use separate branch circuits for each 1 HP aircon. So you can't use one circuit only containing two aircon units. Is that clear? So again, one aircon, one circuit breaker. So that's the rule. No? Or one motor load, one circuit breaker. So again, our motor loads kasi nga, no, like I mentioned before, they have high starting current. So imagine if you're only using one 20 ampere, let's say circuit breaker or circuit, and then you have two air cons, and then you turn them on simultaneously, sabay. No, and knowing that they will consume a large amount of starting current to operate, so what will happen to your breaker? It will trip because it will think that there's an overcurrent. Okay, so that's why it's important to only use one circuit breaker for each aircon. Okay, and then after that, you have one 1.5 HP aircon. So this is the bigger one, no, for let's say master's bedroom, no, or let's say your living room. And okay, so 10 amperes at 230 volts. So that's 10 times 230. So you have 2,300 VA. So at 100% demand factor. Okay. So if you also have one water pump, let's say your design or your residential house will have your own water pump or source of water supply, diba? Or if you have a swimming pool. I'm not sure if I saw a swimming pool area in your designs, no. But if you're going to include swimming pool, of course, that's going to have a water pump. So that's 1 HP. So 8 amperes also 230 volts. So that's the usual rating for 1 HP water pump. No, so that's also mentioned in the tables. So that you can directly use this as reference. So no need to look for the table. Okay. So 1 HP usually that's 8 amperes to 30 volts. So that's 1840 VA, 100% demand factor. Okay. So you'll also use 20 ampere circuit. So question, 'Di ba po sir, we have a 15 ampere circuit breaker. So why do we use 20? No, when we only have 8 amperes here. Again, our motors like this one have high starting current. So sometimes there will be times that when you start your motor, it will reach more than 15 amperes just because of the starting. So to prevent your circuit breaker tripping, no, because it might think it's an overcurrent, so you'd use 20 amperes. So that's mentioned already in the standard. Okay. So circuit requirements. So this is the total branch circuit. So use 8 20 ampere two wire branch circuits. No, so how come we have 8? So 'di ba you have this one, 1, uh, 2, okay, and then 3 and 4, and then 5, 6, and then 7, 8. No, if you separated the lighting and the convenience. Okay? So that's why you have 8 20 ampere circuits. And then you have one 40 ampere circuit for your cooking range or your electric range. Okay? And then your service entrance conductors. So for the total full load current, so this is how it's computed. So total load. So these are the rest of your loads, no? 18438 VA. So you'll just total your loads accordingly. Plus uh this shouldn't be ano. I think this should be 250. There's a typographical error here. So this should be 250. So let me just verify. So I think that should be 250 percent, no, times the highest rated motor. So your highest rated motor is still the 1.5 HP. Okay, this one. So let me just double check the computation that was used. So that should be, so 2 times 2.5 plus 18438 divided by, oops, divided by 230. Okay. I think this is what happened here. So if you're wondering, no, why it's 25%, okay, let's clarify this one. If you look at the 18438 VA, that is already the total of all your load, including this one. Okay, so including this one. Okay, so this is already included in the 18438. So that's why on your highest rated motor, no, for your full load current, no, for your conductor. So by the way, we're computing for the conductors nga pala. So this is a different computation from the service equipment, no, the fuse and the circuit breaker. Diba earlier, for the service conductors, we did not actually compute, no. So you just use 14 millimeter square TWRs because that's still within the standard, no, for not more than 6 circuits of single family dwelling unit. So that's why you use directly 14 millimeter square TWRs. But for more than 6 circuits, so if your design will have more than 6 circuits and up to 150 square meters, so you should now compute for your full load current using this guide, no, before you select your wire size from the table. Okay? So how do we compute it? So you total all your loads. So just get the total of your loads. This one, no? So just get the total of your loads, all of your loads, including the highest rated motor, and then you will add 25% of the highest rated motor. So this is your highest rated motor. So you will add 25% of that load because again, it's already included here. But sir, but if what if I want to separate the computation? Uh, you can also do that, but instead of 25%, so you will subtract 2,300 from here. No, so that's I think around 16,138. Okay. So if you excluded this highest rated motor and then plus, instead of 25, you'll use 125% times the 2,300 VA. Okay, is that clear? No? So to avoid confusion na, so the 2,300 VA highest rated motor is already included here. So you will just add another 25% of your highest rated motor. But if you want to compute separately, you'll use 125% of your highest rated motor. So that is for the conductors. We're computing for the conductors. So they got here 83 amperes. So let's take a quick look at the table for the conductors. And so our reference is 83 amperes. So they use THW wire copper. So the THW is this one in copper, under copper. So you computed for 83 amperes here. Let me double check. Okay. I think they did not use copper for that one. They used aluminum. Yan. Aluminum THW because it was mentioned 83 amperes, so they used 38 millimeter square size. So for the copper, if they used copper, it should be smaller, mga around 22 only or 30. Okay? So these two are close to the 83 amperes computed. But for the aluminum, the next higher to the 83 is your 90 amperes here. Okay? So that is 38 millimeter squared for the aluminum THW. Okay? So that is for the service entrance service entrance conductors. Okay? So that's for the service entrance conductor. So I think this is just typographical also na naulit on this part, both 3.3. So for the service equipment, so like what we did earlier, okay? So for the fuse, so you get the total loads, total of the loads, but for your highest rated motor, you'll use 300% multiplier. And then divided by 230 volts, so you get here 100 amperes. For the circuit breaker, same computation except that your highest rated motor will use 250% multiplier. Okay, so the rest of the loads, you just add. Okay, but when you're adding your highest rated motor, you will use a multiplier of 250% for the circuit breaker. So they computed here 95 amperes. So for the 95 amperes, on the circuit breaker part here, so let's proceed on the table here. So they use 125. Okay. Ito nga. So, di ba, they computed for 95 amperes. So, the 95 amperes falls within 100, 115, 125. So, they selected 125. So, again, so that is, you can use a smaller a rating. So, the next smaller one, no, because, di ba, we computed for 95 amperes. No, 95 amperes. So the closest one there is actually 100. But for flexibility, you can use 110 or 125. Okay? So why did they use 125? So usually, in practice or in hardware, no, in the hardware, so if you ask for available circuit breakers, uh, 125 rating is more available, no, most of the time than 110. Okay, so that's why you can also select 125. So again, on your design, so you can select the next higher or for flexibility, the even the next higher one. So just provide no a proper explanation why did you choose that. Okay, whether it's availability on the market or for future expansion no purposes. Okay, so the important thing is that you know the basis on the figures and the numbers that you will include in your design. And of course, you should have a backup of a computation, how you come up with that for that rating, for example. Okay, so again, I won't require you to include the actual computations for your design plate. So that's for electrical engineering students. No, so what's important is that you have the basic understanding of the computations and apply it in selecting the standards or the ratings that you will use for your design. Okay? So in here, so they use 125 ampere trip, single pole, 240 volt molded case circuit breaker. So that's the rating of the breaker that they use. For the fuse, so again, it's optional if you want to include the fuse. No, so just make sure that you understand the computation used. No, so but if you only want to use circuit breakers, that's also fine. No, for your design. Okay. So again, for the riser diagram, so I want to see the branches, no, and their corresponding labels. Okay. So let me try to find here a sample of the riser. This one. This is a sample of a riser diagram. But again, I would prefer that uh, you expand the contents of the panel board. So instead of drawing here the panel board, draw here the branches inside. Okay. Also for this one, no, draw the branches inside instead of just the panel board. So you can include the details uh, of the individual branch circuits. Okay. So include the contents of the panel board no, for your riser diagram. Okay, so no need to separate to create a separate diagram like this one. So just replace this panel board symbol with the contents of the panel board. Okay, so this one. Where is it? Ayan, ito. Okay, so ganito na yung ilagay nyo for your riser diagram. Okay, so just include the service entrance details here. Okay, and then for the load schedule, so you can use this as reference, this one. Okay, so you can also, if you have other references for the schedule of loads here, so you can use that as well. Okay, so just make sure to include the basic necessary details here. Of course, your uh, branch circuit number, your load description, no, your load in volt amperes. Okay, so this is don't include this one because this is for three phase. No, so we're only using single phase. Okay. For this one, you only need also one line of the current, no, because we're only computing for single phase current here. And then circuit breaker rating and size of your conductors and conduit size also. No, I think uh, included in included in the tables that I gave you initially is the conduit sizing. Okay. So before we end, uh, so if you have questions, so you can raise them now. So while I'm sending you the copy of the lecture containing this. containing these parts. Okay? So let me share it in the group chat na lang, no? So you can have quick access. Ah, utilities. Huh? Utilities. Okay, so do you have any questions? So is our discussion today clear to you? Any questions, concerns, or clarifications? You, it's just taking some time to load the no, the chat. Okay, so but if there are no more questions or clarifications or concerns, so I think that covers all the necessary discussions that we need or that you'll need, no, for your finance topics. Okay, so again, so for the finance topics, it will include the basic electrical system design. So that will for the coverage, no. So electrical systems design and the illumination design, no. So the basic computations, the inverse square law, cosine law, okay, and then I think the single phase AC circuits will not be included. So I think I talked to Sir Banwa no last week. So we decided that we'll just use the topics covered for the finals. Okay? So as you have observed in our discussion, so those are uh, heavily on concepts and terms. Okay, so not much computation. There are still computations, of course. So you need to study the computations like let's say computing for the conductor size or the conductor rating or the circuit breaker rating, no? And then you will select from the table. Okay? So if ever or if necessary, in the final exam, we will provide the necessary tables for you to look at. Or if not, they might be in a multiple choice type of problem solving, like the one before. Okay? So that you will have selections or options, no, whether what to choose from your computed current. So of course, you will still need to be familiar with the basic of electrical circuit computations, and also illumination design and light sources also. Now the different types of light sources, no, according to construction or to their purpose. Okay. So on Friday, so I will give you an advance advice if we will have a meeting because although that should have been face to face, right? But we're transitioned to online anyway, no? And then, so I will give an advance notice if we're just gonna be asynchronous on Friday so that you can work on your design plate. No, diba? We're supposed to be face to face naman this Friday. And then, I'm trying to find a suitable schedule if ever, no, that you will need to present your final design plate because again, we can't use Friday schedule. So, uh, if necessary, on the finals exam week, so I might ask if you have a spare time, like 2 hours of your time on the finals week, to have a short presentation no, upon submitting your work, no, your design plate. Okay, so just a short Q&A and presentation. No, no need for for slides or formal attire. Okay. So I just want to see no if you understood what you did. No, and if you uh really followed no the guidelines and the instructions on your design plate. Okay. So that's my plan no for the final exam and your final design plate. Okay, I found your group chat. So I let me just share That one. I think hindi ko pa nga na-send. Okay. Okay. So I think that will be all, no, for our discussion. So starting now, you can work on your final design plate. So you can use these as reference. So what I'm going to send you and what I have sent you initially, no, the basic design tables. So you can have a reference and guide on how to create a basic electrical plan. Okay. So if there are no more questions, concerns, or clarifications, so please wait for my announcement, no, whether we're going to be asynchronous on Friday in 7 to 9 a.m. Okay. So that will be all. Thank you for attending and have a nice day, everyone. Bye bye.